Welcome back to this new episode of Lucky Last. If you ever felt like you are doing everything right, being disciplined, working hard, staying in control, and yet still feel lost, this episode is for you. Today, I'm joined by Tatiana Slezac, an intuitive healing practitioner and the author of The Power of Surrender, a book that asks one radical question. What if the strength you've been chasing is actually found in letting go? Tatiana's story is raw and deeply human. She opens up about her battle with food addiction, the mask we wear to appear in control, and the life-changing moment she realized that healing starts the second you dare to walk through the door you've been avoiding. If you've ever struggled with self-criticism, addiction, burnout, or that endless "I will do better tomorrow" loop, this conversation will definitely shift something in you. Tatiana, welcome back to Lucky Last. I'm very happy to have you here again.
And I'm so happy to hear welcome back.
Yes, so Tatiana actually came in my podcast last year, and it was my episode number 2, and she was actually the first person that I interviewed when I started this episode, and I'm so happy to have you here again. I feel like, we are closing the loop. We slightly upgraded. We recorded together in my living room, but here we are in a studio. So thank you so much for joining me.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Marie.
Thank you. This book is really interesting and fascinating. You wrote, "Addiction speaks many languages, but its cry is always the same. Please set me free." Can you elaborate a bit more about this?
Sometimes we see people on the street and we think they have everything together, and we tend to,
We is
yeah. I remember this is how I was looking at people, like, oh, her life is amazing, or she's doing so well, or he. And then I realized that addiction is something that can hit everybody. Doesn't matter of your status, doesn't matter of how intelligent you are. That was shocking for me. How you have your things together, how persistent, how self-disciplined you are, doesn't really matter. It's not choosing.
Yes.
And that's not your fault. And that's what I've learned.
So The Power of Surrender,
Yes.
The title is very powerful. What does it mean for you today? And can you tell me a bit more why you wanted to write this book?
I wanted to write this book because the word surrender generally is very important for me, since I walked into the addiction world, which was like the door opener for me for spiritual life, for self-growth, for self-development. And I wrote this book because I thought maybe this story could resonate with someone who may realize, actually, I am in a similar situation or something like that, because I remember how extremely hard it was for me to admit that I have a problem. So some people say, oh, I admire you, that you're opening yourself up. I'm not really thinking about myself here. First of all, yes, writing something like this, putting this on the paper is very healing for me as well.
Fair enough.
Because then I look from the perspective of what happened, what path I've been through, and I'm still growing, okay? But also this thought, it's not really about me, because I remember, and I'm talking in the book about that, we meet together with people and we talk about addiction, and you actually listen to other people. You don't even ask questions, you listen to them, and it's helping you. So I thought, by reading, people who are not brave enough to go to meetings like I did may see something there and think, and that can resonate with them, because I think, oh, my problem is the biggest, and like I am the only one suffering. But very often, pretty much all the time, there is someone out there who has the same or similar problem. And that's very freeing for me as well. So both, for my healing and
for others.
Yeah.
You mentioned, I'm just jumping on what you said, you mentioned something quite interesting in the book. You said, so you went to this meeting, this first meeting for food addiction, and you expected people to look a certain way, like we all do, don't get me wrong. And then you enter the room and you realize that it can be anyone, it can be lawyers, it can be parents, it can be very well-polished professionals. Why do you think we have this conception, this preconception of this type of people, how people with addiction should look like?
People with alcohol addiction, they lay down on the street in their vomits, right? And people who struggle with food addiction, they must be fat. There must be something wrong with you. So most likely not really educated, because if you can push through education, why can't you push through biscuits? Come on.
Yes.
What's the big deal? So for me, it was the biggest shock, like you said. And now the way I look at people is so different, because I saw businessmen, lawyers, rich, extremely rich people standing there with tears, crying over the packet of biscuits that they can't stop eating. And someone can say, oh, it's not the big deal, you feel like biscuits, but actually it's addiction. So we are talking about pain. We are talking about you are not able to stop, even if you want to stop. So definitely that changed the way I look at people generally. And I think I developed this softer side of definitely less judgment. There is this also, would you say, the celebrity thing, right? We want to have everything together. We want to be those perfect people, but actually every single person struggles. And when I saw that in that room, that was a big one for me.
Yeah, game changer, I guess. Yeah. So you, in the book, you talk about addiction in a very compassionate way, not as a weakness, but as a way to calm the pain, as you just said. How did your relationship with food help you understand the deeper emotional layers of addiction?
So first of all, it made me understand you want to numb yourself. So just like in any addiction, you want to numb your emotions. So basically that's what we're doing, because you don't want to feel. And at some point I realized I didn't want to, I thought that I do, but that really I wasn't able to feel, I didn't really want to feel anything, because when there was a moment of joy, I had food. When there was a moment of sadness, I had food. There was a moment of stress, I had food. But very often we hear, emotional eating, and it's normalized. But maybe if it's occasionally, it can be normal, but it creates also lots of pain. So definitely numbing the emotions. So what I've learned is to be with your emotions, and they are not going to kill you. It's okay. I don't need to numb myself with food or anything. In my case, it was food, yes.
How long did it take you to realize what was happening?
Well, I had my suspicions for a long time, but that was a tricky bit, because I was very obsessed with organic food, healthy food. I wasn't the McDonald's girl.
Yes.
Or anything like this. So you have this, okay, but it's lots of chocolate, but it's organic chocolate. Occasionally something. And so I think it's been years that I was suspecting it. And my mom even mentioned this back when I was in Poland. That's why I knew that there were groups like that. I eat healthy.
Yes.
Look at those junky people who eat in McDonald's. They have a problem, not me,
So you hided it under healthy organic food.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So you had suspicion for a little while. And you said it, there is this moment where you are in your room and you can stop eating the rice crackers.
Yeah, the rice cakes.
Yeah.
The healthiest food in the world. Healthiest, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, I guess an addiction is an addiction. Whatever you eat, it stays an addiction. So you were in this room and you start crying while you could not stop eating.
yeah, because it was a situation that I was really full after dinner.
Yes.
And I think in my case, it was addiction to crunch, not necessarily rice cake. A rice cake, yeah, but the type of crunch.
Interesting.
And then I've heard from lots of people who I've met that their addiction, to food, sugar and flour is the most dangerous thing, but also crunch.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Is it the noise as well?
I don't know what's that. It's like the satisfaction.
Interesting. Yes, I get it. So you are there, and then this is where you said, okay, this is not right. I'm full. My body is telling me I can't take it anymore, but I'm still putting food in my mouth.
And that I got to the point, and it was my rock bottom. That then after I called it rock bottom, blessed rock bottom. But at this point, I thought this was the worst moment of my life, where I literally had my tears rolling down my face. I was so full, but my hand kept going. It couldn't, and I was thinking, I want to chop off these hands. Like, why I can't just stop?
Yeah.
I said, okay, that's it. I'm putting this back to the kitchen. Very quickly went back to bed. And then it's like, you need to pee. I had to go to the toilet. And my body turned to the kitchen. It was wild. I was like, what's happening?
Proper addiction. You could not control your body anymore.
I couldn't control my body. I couldn't control my hands. I couldn't control my mouth. No.
Yes, I can imagine how challenging when you realize that you are fully dependent, that your mind is actually not listening. It's like the addiction talking.
Yeah.
We are often taught that discipline conquers everything. Push harder, be stronger, do better. How did surrender challenge this belief in you?
Yeah, that's a very good question, because I had it all my life, going through studies, like we both, coming to Australia, push harder and having good results. And all of a sudden, that was the moment which I learned on the meetings. It's the same as AA for Alcoholics Anonymous, but it's for food.
Yes.
For food addiction. The first point was that you surround yourself, you admit that you are powerless over food, and that your life became miserable. Something like that. But you admit that you are powerless over food. Hello, me,
Powerless.
Polish, in Australia,
Strong woman.
educated, strong woman, 2 kids, I can do it.
Yes.
What? But this is like a door opener, first of all, to your truth, to I need help. You know, even if it's something small as food, I need help. And this is where I had to deeply look that there is also something outside of me that can help me, that I cannot. As you just mentioned, I couldn't depend on my body, because my body was doing, and my mind, whatever it wanted. So I need to ask for help, not only from other people, but also from, they call it a higher power. Either it could be God or whatever, that you feel that it's outside of you, that there is force that can support you in this process.
The universe, the energy.
The universe, energy, and you basically putting yourself on a silver platter. That was, and usually is for people, the longest one. Because like you just said, you have all those, not only, but lots of people with those ambitious people who always thought that they have everything together, and all of a sudden, I'm powerless.
It's probably as well very challenging for the ego.
Very challenging for the ego, but at some point I felt, when I realized what surrender really means, huge relief. Oh, actually, I don't need to do it on my own. You know, I can let someone to guide me and help me through it. So after I relaxed, I realized that the door started to open. And this was the first step, the biggest step.
So the first step, that is the biggest step, is to learn to surrender and accept that you are powerless over your addiction. Once you've done that, did you open up to your family?
So this one was very interesting. Oh, I just remember this first point.
Go.
I admit I'm powerless over food, and my life became unmanageable, not miserable, unmanageable. So I'm not able to manage. So
yes,
unmanageable.
Yeah.
Come on.
When you cannot stop eating and whatever you want to do, it's actually not what is happening, then your life, how can you live?
But that's at this point, you're not actually talking only about addiction. The point is my life. So that your whole life, you giving away. And after a while, I found huge relief in that. But coming back to the family, what you ask, I was so ashamed. And I remember this day when I Googled food addict meetings. I went for the first meeting. And I have this rule, and I think many people have. I always tell my family members, especially my husband, where I'm going.
Yes.
And I just said, I'm going. He didn't ask me where you're going. It's just, but I couldn't
say it.
I couldn't say it. I was so ashamed. I was terrified of what happened to me. I wasn't able to speak. I was shocked after that, but I just knew I have to go there. And I was so scared to go, so I didn't want to even talk about. I couldn't even talk about this, that I'm going. Because going through those doors, even, it was so traumatic for me at that point. So I will never be able to talk about this to anyone.
Of course.
I told him after the meeting, actually. When I came back, for some reason, he didn't even ask where you've been.
This is what's happening when you've been with someone for 30 years or 20 years. Nobody cares anymore where you go.
He didn't even ask, but I told him and he said, yeah, cool, that's cool. Basically, it was it.
That's it.
Not too many questions.
So I'm going to push a bit on that. Do you think he knew that you had an addiction, your husband?
My husband, I think yes.
Yeah.
And I think my kids also realized that when I had moments when they had some chocolate, good chocolate, and everybody had their piece, and all of a sudden next day it's gone.
It's gone.
Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Eating kids' chocolate. I was very ashamed of that. I also knew that there is a problem when I told my husband I'm going for a run, and I actually went to the shop to have some healthy biscuits. I'm sure that they knew. But he heard me thousands of times saying, I'm going on a diet and I'm going to do this, It never worked until I joined this group. And this is where I felt accountable towards other people. And I'm quite ambitious. So when I had other people surrounding me, I'm like, no, I can't screw this up.
But that's very good,
Yes.
That's exactly, we were talking about how ambitious people can be impacted and how it's difficult for this strong character, personality like you to recognize it. But at the same time, it's really beneficial because once you said it and the old world know it, I guess you can't step back.
Yeah. It was very interesting because then when you are in a group, you have your sponsor, someone you need to be accountable to. And I like this, that my first sponsor was male, highly educated. And I'm like, I'm going to prove that I can do it.
That's amazing.
If it would be my husband, would be like, oh no, Monday. I don't think I will ever say I'm not an addict anymore. I think there is always this part is in me. I'm lucky that I don't need to be strongly in program anymore. I have control. I don't feel like really control, but I don't feel such an urge to eat as I used to. But they say, and I agree, that addiction is a tricky thing. And I'm too humble to this. And after what I went through to say, yeah, it's fine, I'm free. No,
Yes.
I'm watching.
And now, is it a constant watch, or you're more relaxed and you are not thinking about it, but you may be avoiding certain situation that could put up the risk to go back to the addiction?
Lucky me, I don't really need to.
Okay.
In the sense, I know that I can't have extra chocolate at home.
Yeah.
Right? That if I buy, it's the right amount. That's why I buy usually small block.
Yes.
And then it's enough. So in this type of situation, yes. Luckily, I don't know what happened really, that I don't need to control. I have my moments, maybe, before period or something, but that would be quite usual. I have my moments that I feel like sweets, but it's nothing compared to how it was. So inside I feel free, but still, so I don't watch myself, but I'm not fully relaxed. But like we went to the cafe just before here, and I don't go like, no, not anymore.
Do you think, so you mentioned that the first step in this meeting was the most important one. Do you think once you accept it, you surrender, you are already halfway there?
There are 12 steps.
So you're not, but...
I like what you said. Actually, maybe even halfway there, because this is the biggest one, I would say. At least it was for me, and from what I've heard from other people as well. Then there are other steps you're going through, but I guess this one was the biggest one. And I'm really happy that it influenced now all part of my life. So not just, that's why I keep writing about this, because it's not only about addiction. Having this surrender in me towards everything that I'm doing now is very relaxing and makes me feel that I'm not alone. Like you mentioned, I do intuitive healing, and then let's say I don't have clients this week, and it's fine. It's okay. There is nothing I can do before
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And what can I do?
Yes.
Maybe that's not the right time. Maybe we need other week, and so on. So that helps me in other parts. So I think it's such an amazing tool that can be used everywhere. And it's then opening, like gate opener for changes. Because once you go, okay, there is nothing I can do, I need help, you can relax. You're not tense so much anymore. I believe that people lose this tension, and ideas and things come from that moment. So it's not just addiction, not just food addiction or any. For me, it's everywhere.
So surrender and letting go helped you not react to the situation that are coming in your way, like it has a lot to do how you react to what's happening in your life, but you let it go, take it with ease, at peace, because you can't control it.
To put it nicely, I'm still working on it.
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. But generally, I feel inside I am much more relaxed than I used to be. And I hope my children would say
Yes.
the same thing. But always you go deeper and deeper. And there are things you want to, challenges I meet on the way. So I need to constantly remind myself. So writing this book was also a big reminder.
So for someone who is listening and still pushing harder, doing a lot every day, what's the first small act of surrender they can take?
It's a very good question. I would say, sit down, let yourself to sit down and look at things you have control over and you don't have control over. When I started, I actually had on piece of paper, okay, I need to go and have this job interview. I have control over going, speaking, outcome, no control.
No control, yes.
Okay? So basically, I treat higher power like my employee now. Okay, I do this, you do this. I do this, you do this.
Yes.
So realizing that you are not alone and concentrate on things you have control over, not you don't have control over. We are, especially as women, I think, very harsh towards ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's really difficult for people in general to not react to the situation that are coming to them and try to accept it and let it go.
We take on our shoulders a huge amount of responsibilities and expect to be perfect in all of them. So that's the big one.
Yes.
You are a mother, needs to be perfect. At home, everything needs to be perfect. Dinner must be done. You work, full-time job, everything must be perfect there.
Yes.
We're going through all those hormonal stages
Yes.
that often women don't understand, compare ourselves to others, to men as well. We can really work together, but we are different. And I'm currently more and more getting into this topic. And big expectations towards ourselves. So that's the big one, I think.
I think people around us expect a lot from women, and we as well put the pressure very high. We are really, really tough on ourselves, while we should actually be a bit more complacent and realize how far we come and how so many things we are doing at the moment, struggling with everything. But yes, that's very true. What do you hope readers take away from the power of surrender, especially those who are struggling with something they never spoken about?
That is okay. That there is nothing wrong with you. That there are other people out there suffering as well. That it's okay to speak about that. That it's okay to seek help. Seeking help is not weakness. It's actually strength. So that's what I would like people to take from it, and let themselves to get help if they need to. Don't beat yourself up that you are not the way you would like to be, and compare yourself to others whose life is not as perfect as you think.
True.
Yeah.
We're all struggling with our own battles, as you said at the beginning of this episode. Yes. We always think that everyone is living the best life, especially on social media. Social media is the worst thing ever. But everyone is struggling somewhere in their life.
I had my wake-up call with social media when we really struggled back then. And I remember those friends sending photos, I think Fiji or somewhere. And the man got sick and he was like, oh, my lovely wife is looking after me, my honey bunny, da 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 da. And then I met them and they were like, the worst holidays of my life, I hate it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've just spent a whole month being jealous. And that was it.
Yeah.
It was such a wake-up call for me.
Yes.
That was it. Of course, you're not going to show on social media when you wake up and feeling like crap.
No, but why not? You know, people are sharing their life non-stop. Why not? Like, I think there is no shame of being normal and showing to others that it's okay to have a shit day. It's okay to look like shit today. It's okay to not having cash flow this month. It's okay if, you know, people say no to you because it's part of the journey. This is life. Like, life is not, hey, you can have it all. And I find it a shame that on social media, so many people are just showing the best version of their life and hiding all the rest, because there is young kids out there watching that and thinking, oh, actually, why she has everything where I have nothing? But she doesn't, you know?
I like what you do. You're showing your struggles.
Yes.
And that's really cool what you do.
Yes. Well, I have a lot of struggles, so I'm sharing everything, including my struggles. But I always said that to myself when I started. When I'm starting this journey and I'm going to document it online, I will show the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because the truth is, building a business, it's fucking hard, And nobody open the doors and send you roses and say, "Oh, you're amazing. Yes, sure, come on board. I'm going to give you money." No, you need to knock to every door, go through the window, come back, knock again. Yeah, it's part of the journey, and we should accept it.
I think we've spoken about this before. I truly believe that having your own business, everything you haven't healed in you haven't worked on, is going to come up. Every single struggle, every single pain. It's like the best self-development course is to start your business.
That's so true.
Well done.
For healing. Yeah, literally. Yes, yeah. I guess. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's absolutely right. And I don't think, as we said before, I don't think a business can grow if the founder doesn't grow as well.
Absolutely.
So it goes together.
It's very inspirational what you do.
Oh, thank you, Tatiana.
That's why I'm so happy to be here
for
the
I'm
second
very
time.
happy to have you here again. I have a couple of more questions. Healing starts the moment you dare to walk through a door you've been avoiding. Tatiana, what door are you most proud of walking through? And what's on the other side for you now?
Oh, really nice question. I think this door, because I was into spirituality and things like that, but in a really fluffy way. But walking through that door from the meeting, it was the biggest one.
That's right.
But for the rest of the doors, I'm still waiting and I'm opening. I actually pretty much every night, I do sort of meditation when I'm opening door and another door and another door and another door. For myself, for my business as well, for myself as a mother, myself as wife, myself as whoever. Basically, before I fall asleep, I imagine next door opening and expansion. That would be my goal, but not perfection.
Yes, okay. And what's on the other side of this door? Expansion?
I'm thinking often about my deathbed. What do I want to say to myself on my deathbed? Do I have any regrets? Was I the best person I could be? Did I do everything? So that's my other side. It's often when I do something and seems crazy or difficult, I'm thinking, am I going to regret this on my deathbed? Even coming to Australia, I had those moments. Why did I come? I should have stayed in Poland in my safe zone. But then on my deathbed, that was my dream. I can say, I did it. That's kind of not really a door to heaven, I hope. Whatever you believe in. I often think about that.
Okay.
Yeah, about this moment.
That's a good way to try to relieve yourself from all the negative things that you don't need to take.
Yeah, especially now when I'm 49, will be 50 next year. So I kind of, not that I'm close to my deathbed, that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I realize it's actually, I'm 50. Who knows with longevity these days and so on, but generally speaking. So this is what I really look at.
Tatiana, thank you so much. You reminded us today that real strength is not about control, it's about awareness, self-compassion, and the willingness to ask for help. If this episode resonated with you, please share with someone that is going through this, and I will see you next week. Thank you. Thank you, Tatiana.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Lucky Last. If you enjoyed today's conversation, remember to subscribe or follow me on your favorite podcast platform. And if you are more of a visual learner, you can catch the video version of this episode on my YouTube channel. Just search for Lucky Last and hit subscribe to never miss an episode. As always, your support means the world to me. So until next time, keep chasing your dreams and embracing those lucky last chances. See you soon!